Yo, 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 yo. What's going on? Welcome to Fancy Breakouts. I'm Pat. That's Mr. Eric. And this video will be our Week 15 Fancy Playoff Week 15 Fancy Waiver Wire recommendations. Okay? So let's dive into as far as the quarterbacks. Is there anybody you're suggesting, Eric?
Yeah, it's we're getting to the end. I mean, we're scraping the bottom of the barrel with these, so it's just how it is this time of year. But we're looking at matchups. Baker Mayfield. That's where we're at. He gets the Jets week 16, so maybe you have a good spot start for this week. We're definitely like Pat said the other video. We're thinking about this week first, not counting ahead too much. But in this case, I do like having Baker in my back pocket if I get to the championship week 16. So I think he's a good option if someone has a rougher matchup. Otherwise, we also have listed Mitch Trubisky gets Minnesota and then Jacksonville. So that might be more of a he could be your starter week 15 too. So
Mm-hmm.
those two, Pat. Do you have anything otherwise or comments on that one on those two?
I mean, I would, I got burned by Baker before, so I'll never play Baker again. But he does play the Jets, and I think, especially with after their loss to the Ravens, that they're gonna have to win. So I can see him not just running it out; he's still gonna throw or whatnot. And Mitch, like you rather take two rather than one. So I definitely would go with Mitch over that. But Mitch has shown his true colors week in, week out. So, but like I said, it's tough right now. Um, Now moving on to running backs. Is there anybody you have your eye on in particular this week, Eric?
Yeah, I think with our really interesting one we have is if Parker and Jakeem Grant both aren't going to be able to play this week. I mean, we still have about a day and a half to find that out if they're going to be how they're going to look and everything before this waiver claim. But Lynn Bowden is a freak athlete. He has the designation of either running back or receiver, and then he is a quarterback from college, and he had the most rushing yards in the SEC while playing quarterback. Is just nuts. So with him, I mean, with Tua and him, I think Tua and him must have been getting together. I think I froze. Tua
Yeah,
and him
pretty much.
must have been just on that second team offense because they look like he was just playing backyard football, throwing to Lynn Bowden a ton of times.
Mhm.
And anyway, so they have Lynn Bowden out of the slot, so he's both receiver and running back. You pick your spot that you need him in. So I think I'd go $8 on him, just as we don't get to carry that money over into next year, right? So
Gotta spend it. Okay.
yeah. Otherwise,
Um,
Pat, who are you looking at? I think we have Gus, right?
yep, Gus Edwards. I think that Ravens are starting to limit that. I think, unfortunately, it only took 12 and a half weeks, but I think Mark Ingram is kind of getting phased out. He's been on the wrong side of 30. Running back, he had a great run, but I think they're starting to. They just can't get away from Gus Edwards. Obviously, J.K. is a guy, but they just keep between him and Lamar. Obviously, running. I think Gus Edwards is going to get his touches, and they're playing the Jacksonville Jaguars. Must we say more? And they have to win. And with Lamar not, being the best thrower right now, accuracy wise, just stay on the ground. That's what you should do.
Yep.
And then another one that might tricky, might be a sneaky one, is Kalen Balaj. The Keelan or Kalen, how you pronounce his name?
Yep.
Um, but this is a play as you once again, if you have that money, spend the money. But if Eckler's out, man, they're playing the Vegas, the Las Vegas, give him up on the ground Raiders. Okay, um, so if he's out, that's I would say a top 8 play.
Yeah, yeah, especially do or die situation. Yeah, I'd say he's probably not a RB1 in my eyes, but I mean he's definitely up there. And maybe you're going to be losing another running back or someone's not available. So yeah, I think he's up there. Yeah, Eckler, what are they saying? So your the thigh injury stuff is pretty wild. How if you get a bruise in the right spot of your thigh, your just leg will swell up
Mm-hmm.
and you can't walk on it or anything. So we got to watch Eckler close. And please, we'll tell you exactly how to handle this Sunday. Get on Sunday. Set your clock 10:45 Central. We'll be on. We'll tell you what to do with Kalen Balaj. Okay, this is a really important one with our livelihood at stake, right?
Mm-hmm. I think
So
another one possibly would be Raheem Mostert. Jeff Wilson's been kind of looking better, but that's once again they say something with his ankle. But once again, tune in on Sunday. We'll have the end for that.
yeah, true.
Um,
Hmm.
so next is the wide receivers. What are you thinking as far as wide receivers, Eric?
Well, one of them was a little bit off the radar that I was looking at was if Mike Williams. It doesn't look like Mike Williams is going to come back. He's got the back issue. We've talked about that where he lands on his back like without bracing his falls, and it's just I think it's just there's just been a toll on his body throughout this year. But with his backup, so Tyron Johnson, he had the most targets. Now he doesn't have the pedigree. He wasn't drafted, but he's a punt returner, and I've seen this guy. He absolutely looks like he could be a beast, and he's just got some quickness to him. He went 7 targets, 6 catches, and a touchdown this year. I looked at his profile, like what his body type was, what his draft profile was, and he didn't really grade out well, like I guess as like a top flight athlete. But I mean, we've seen stranger things when guys have opportunities. We've seen Thielen. We've seen a ton of receivers when they are given the opportunity, they can shine. And I think Tyron Johnson. I mean, I'm not gonna. This is under the radar. This is somebody I've been watching for a while, and I don't know. I get excited like when you see like some of these people. He jumps off the screen like when I watch him return punts, and he looks like he can catch, and it's just somebody I'm looking at. Tyron Johnson. All right. But otherwise, if I'm gonna have to start somebody, we were looking into T.Y. Hilton obviously last week, and he wasn't grabbed up in every league. There was some skepticism about him because of his season so far, and yeah, I think Ty is probably my number one again, with us getting a little bit limited. I've been down the Mecole Hardman trail before, and it's not one. And then I'm back in the me not liking what Mahomes does, and that's just not where I want to be back again. So yeah, because he spreads it around to every receiver possible. But yeah, I guess I would definitely go Ty absolutely if he's available. What about you, Pat?
Definitely go with Ty. But I would say obviously if Nelson Aguilar is available, just go pick the man up.
Hmm.
Thinking about it, no matter if it's a bad matchup on paper, just go pick him up. It is what it is. Another one would be Kendrick Bourne. I think it'd be a sneaky one. Just with unfortunate news with Debo, doesn't look like he's going to come back. And obviously, they got to spread the ball a little bit. So if you're desperate, I definitely will go. I don't know if I'd probably spend $3 on Bourne. I mean, if you had the spot, whatever. I wouldn't be surprised if you had a solid wide receiver game, wide receiver three game.
Hmm.
Uh, I put the fingers to the mic like the mic can hear him.
I was gonna say, man, he was. I had him in DFS last year. I was just rolling with Kendrick Bourne. He just kept getting touchdowns down the stretch. I was doing DFS in the playoffs with the 49ers, and yeah, they love him around the goal line. So I like that.
Um, so moving on from that, man, what about tight ends?
Yeah, with tight end, we were looking at Irv Smith with Rudolph being out. I know the targets are almost wasted on Rudolph at this point with his lack of speed and lack of almost everything on the field. And if Irv, what?
He's the captain.
Yeah, he's the captain. He's got his camo on. He's the man. He's the most important Viking in the world, right? But yeah, no, Irv Smith. If Rudolph is out again, he's an absolute. I'd say he's back of the 8 to 10 range for tight ends. So I really like him. And yeah, you might have some spots opening up with guys getting hurt and things right now. But Pat, what do you think? Otherwise, if you want to go Tight. If you want to go tight ends or defenses.
I would say definitely Irv Smith, maybe Jared Cook, possibly.
Mm,
He's been very up and down. But I'm just thinking like myself. I lost Gasecki over the weekend. I think he's going to be out at least a week. So you got to play somebody.
yeah.
It's time to just look at the matchups and pray. But other than that, defenses. What do you think about defenses, Eric?
Yeah, we were looking at these. It's a tough call with what we just saw Washington do, and we're looking at Miami, Washington, and the Chargers right now. But yeah, with Washington, I don't think they're going to be able to protect Russell Wilson. If we get that same effort as last week from the front from Chase Young, man, that's going to be really good. Because if you clear this Seattle matchup, you get Carolina, and who knows what Carolina is going to be looking like at that point. They're basically eliminated from the playoffs. So
Mm-hmm.
Washington's very interesting, and Washington's at home both games. That's important to me too.
It's comforting.
Yeah, at home, sleep in your own bed,
Um,
scratch a dog's belly.
so, the Dolphins. I just think the Dolphins definitely could stay. They can hang with teams, man. I think they're going to be pretty good next year. But this year,
Hmm.
obviously, they're playing New England Week 15. Cam Newton. And then Week 16, they're playing Vegas, and I just, man, it's a toss up. It's one of those things with Derek Carr. I voted for him a week or two ago, and he came out and showed out. But still, I think the Miami's defense is a lot better than the Jets. Obviously. So with that being said, I could see them really giving them some problems. It creates a lot of pressure, like Atlanta did a few weeks back, and I could see Miami between the 2 weeks. I could see them scoring 28 points. To be honest with you, wouldn't be surprised.
Hmm.
So, I mean, other than that, thank you guys. Well, I mean, Eric, out of those, the people we just talked about, what are your must-haves if you had to right now? What are the three picks between those that we just discussed that you have to have that you would prioritize?
Yeah, this falls into that same category where we're looking at my roster, the team I'm playing's roster, because that will be updated within hours here, and yeah, I'm looking at most likely the defenses because I don't know if you're watching this and teams in your league hoard defenses, but I've seen people have three that are eliminated from the playoffs. So that's where we're standing, and you should probably know who I'm talking to if you're watching. But but yeah, I probably just because of my situation, I'm definitely looking at the defenses. I'm looking at also I have Big Ben and don't really like what I've seen out of Big Ben right now. Maybe they'll have a get right game. What were you saying earlier? You were talking about their get right game possibly.
They play Cincinnati.
Yeah. So maybe that week and then Big Ben might be gone after that, but
They could be.
got decisions to make.
I could see them, 40-10. Like they
Hmm.
need that for their mental going to wherever they're going to go. They need to see themselves score. So I definitely see that happening. Yeah, man. Week 15 is the semis, man. You got to think of all variables in the world right now in fantasy. What does that team need? Do I need to block somebody next week? You got to keep all those variables. You got to factor all that in. So, um, you got to obviously see your team needs, but see everybody's team needs. And if you can have money, if you're in a fab, spend your bread.
Yeah.
Even if you pick somebody up to drop them to play the Thursday night mind maneuver, do whatever you got to. All right, spend the bread.
Be
You got
petty.
to.
Be
You got to be
petty,
petty.
Pat says.
It is what. Hey, petty Pat. I don't care. You got to do
Be
what you
petty.
got to.
You should have been
Everybody.
loaded up with backups before
Hey,
this,
you
right?
should, hey, you saw this coming. See, but all right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Once again, I'm Pat. That's Eric. Thank you for joining us on Fancy Breakouts Week 15 waivers. We will be live to answer your questions and whatnot around 10:45 Central Time Sunday morning. We'll have that advice that you need let's get to the championships. All right. Now, obviously, you want more videos like this, go ahead and like and subscribe. Other than that,
yeah, please subscribe. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
all
Thanks,
right.
Pat.
Peace.